E.
Nice. Yo, what's up, everybody, to Aether's Workshop Starry Eyes, the podcast where you submit your submissions and we give you tips and tricks on how to improve your pixel art. I'm Sprite Star, creator of Olympia. We have Wishstring, creator of Astra, and Geek, creator of Malo. I got it right this time.
What?
Hell yeah.
I guess I am here. Shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for this. Hold on.
Geek, we've been through this. It's like literally every week.
Literally, Spar? Yeah, we've kept that track record, huh?
I don't need this sass right now. Like, but how's everybody doing today? Y'all doing good? Hope y'all doing good. We got a lot of submissions coming in. Y'all keep putting in submissions. So we're gonna go to our first one, and it's a small one. Holy hell! It's
wow!
It's tiny.
It's tiny. It's so tiny, in fact, that I need to actually blow it up in a sprite myself on my end.
Yep.
Small.
300% when you export things. It'd be very helpful if you did that. But let's go ahead and backtrack a little bit and see what we got for specific things to look for, because some of you guys leave notes behind for us to look for specific things. So I passed it. Probably because it's so small, didn't see it. All right, there it is. Nope, it's just up tilt. That's it. Well,
that's a move?
Yeah.
It's an up tilt.
It's so small.
It's so small.
It's so small.
Where do we start with this?
This is a burrito. Thanks, Mark.
Sorry.
I'm not sure about its head. That is a head, right?
It looks like a burnt potato, but yes, I think that's a head.
They called it the drowned one or something.
I'm getting like Yumeniki vibes from this, which is unnerving in the kind of a good way, honestly. It's creepy.
It would be unnerving, but like I got no idea how to like break this down. Like there's so little to this.
Yeah, because it's small.
Do nice.
Hold up. I just noticed something.
I just noticed something too. I didn't have a fucking monster for this one. Holy shit. Hold on, wait a minute. There we go.
Can't go without your monster, huh?
Nope. I'm gonna have a heart attack at it.
Monster right in front of you, ASMR.
Yeah, Yeah, Wish, what you got?
Okay, let me see. I got. Hold on. Pause for dramatic effect. Nothing. Okay. Okay. This is an up tilt, right?
Yeah.
It does go up.
It's an up tilt. Ain't it a little bit slow?
I mean, pacing issues, I would just like...
Speed it up in
pacing
game.
issues can be solved in game. That's just
Yeah.
window timers.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
And it's not like Rivals has a consistent frame rate. Like parts of Ori's animations have frames for like one in-game frame, and then Rano's up tilt has a frame that shows up for like 10 in-game frames. It's not consistent at all.
Fair. I really like the splash and stretch here on the body though.
Yeah.
Sushi.
It's a squishy, but in the head, I feel like you're trying to restrict the flip.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Is very restricted on where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do I describe this potion? It's like it's stiff as it spins back towards the.
It's not really have an arc.
There's not much of an arc, and like the motion itself is like very weird. Like the head slides over, and like I'm guessing the arms just like pushing it up, and it's just like lazily flips, but only
Is that
flips.
an arm?
I don't know what that is. I really don't know. It's just like two little like curved lines.
Yeah, I can't tell if that's supposed to be like a smear effect or like an actual appendage extending out of him.
I think it's an actual appendage because like the way it grows, but it also like disappears immediately the moment it's up in the air. It just doesn't retract.
I mean, Sprite doesn't convey a whole lot very well. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can nitpick stuff, but like it all goes back to we don't know what the fuck is going on with this one.
Yeah, we really don't. Like, if this was like an NPC like Yuminiki, then maybe like, yeah, this makes sense. But like,
Also, like,
I don't know, man.
yeah, when it just slides towards the tiny little arms there.
Mm-hmm.
Arms. Yeah, I'm starting to turn Irish again.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I don't really know much aside like, the head to critique because like, the rest is kind of like extremely simplistic enough. It conveys it really well. I don't know if it's an art style thing, right? I don't know if it's an art style thing that looks like that. Because I feel like I'm nitpicking if it's an art style thing, like, from Yume Nikki.
I mean, it depends on if that's what they're going for. So it's just my first instinct.
I can't give any critique because I have no earthly idea what's supposed to be going on here. I will say, why does the head have an outline but the body doesn't?
Oh yeah,
Ah!
good point. That's a good point.
Before I like pass judgment on this character, I need to see what this character is supposed to look like. Like, I want to see like splash art or something. Like,
Yeah.
I have no earthly idea on how to break down this character because there's just so little to it. Like, don't get me wrong, simple designs are great. I love me some simple designs. But like, when this is an animation that's doing something, but we have no idea what's going on in it, Like, I don't want to be that guy and be like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I don't know what I'm looking at. The head like doesn't rotate enough. It only rotates 180 instead of 360.
Mm-hmm.
So like, maybe some more turn there that would have made sense. I don't know. Like, this character design could work, but I don't know what it's supposed to work for,
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest thing about this.
It's just confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we could all agree that this is way too simplistic enough for us to actually tell what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wait. Okay. Weird sort of like things on what if the wide black parts on the sides aren't arms, but it's like viewed directly from the side and it's like a weird drum thing.
Huh.
Looked like a Roblox character, but like someone took a blowtorch to the head, but I can't tell what anything on this sprite is.
Hold on.
What?
We're getting a lag spike. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay, cool. I can't see what you're saying.
I don't.
Yeah, no.
And reconnecting. There we go. Sorry about that.
About that.
Lag spike issues.
I know, right?
We should be good now.
Yeah.
Oh god.
My internet
lag
is
is
way
multi-
better than the last place I was at. This
And that.
is gonna take more than a crowbar to the fucking to my fucking computer for it to go down. We living.
Hello, Garden.
Hello, Gordon.
Yeah. Yeah. This character is just there's so little to go off of, and we have no idea how to tackle this animation because of how simple it is. So if you got more information for us, let us know, please. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the simplicity of it, because simple designs can work well. It's just not clear.
Yeah, like it's simple and also like there's not enough information shown to us.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, let's go over to our next mission. Breloom. This is why we tell you guys submit things at 300%, and now I gotta move shit.
I got a Breloom walk test. He's moving.
There he goes. Look at him go.
Oh, this is. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It reminds me of that like infinite walk episode that SpongeBob had. Okay. Anyway, ooh, I really like this. I really like this.
The tail swing. Nice. Nice.
Okay. Yeah, tail swing. Oh my god, there's 3D depth on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got some hella foreshortening.
Mark. Mark. Can't say that.
Mark.
You say it 3 times and he'll show up.
No.
Stop it.
Oh my god. Okay. Aside from that, actually this is really well made. Do you guys spot any
I think the
need to
only
make sure that's not my PC freezing on me.
Is it?
Okay, it's not.
Okay.
cool.
Because like I was gonna say, oh, the leap scarf thingy is like jumping around, but no, it's just my PC.
Oh.
There is like the leaf area around the neck is like lacking motion compared to everything else. Like that and the arms need a little bit more frames. Like it needs more of the swing to match everything else. But other than that, that's the only thing I could really pick from. Like everything else seems pretty like, you know, well contained.
Yeah, I was going to point out the same thing.
You know, I haven't seen the actual colors on the sky for months. It's all neon. I really want to see them with actual colors.
Yeah.
Wait. Never mind. It's just my PC again. Ah! It's here. Some information. Apparently, it's from the person who's making crab tag.
Oh,
First
the
time
crab guy.
animating. Yeah. first time I'm animating a bipedal, so I'm sending this over. If you want me to give you something to focus on, I guess the rotation of everything and the z-axis shifting of the tail. Alright.
If I was to say something about the z-axis shifting, I would probably say that like when it swings out like away from the camera, I think the tail grows a little too small. Just like make that bigger by like a pixel or so.
Grows too small.
Yeah, like it's the swing with that size makes it look like it's going like 4 fucking feet to the other direction, and then it swings back and it's like, oh, it's just kind of there. It's like, hey, look at that. You know, like the depth is kind of different.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's see. Everything else is actually pretty good on me. Like, the screen is just it's Breloom. It's Breloom.
Yeah, like the rotation of like the head and stuff seems fine. Right, like the general motion of the body seems fine. If we were to pick out something, it'll probably be like arm, neck movement, making sure that swing matches everything else, and the tail going like shrinking too small when it's like moving away from the camera. So just like those two things. And even then, the swing is just enlarge it like by a couple of pixels. So, yeah.
I still really like that you're going for the, like, people won't usually go for that Z depth effect right there.
Yeah. That's
And
a
it just
tricky,
showed you that
that's such a tricky thing to do too.
Yeah. So, I guess you could move on to the next one. It's like, really? This is,
Yeah, no, like this is another great
Wait,
submission.
Did you spot something?
I spotted something that the snout kind of jitters for 1 frame.
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Actually, there is a bunch of tiny little jitters all around the sprite. Looking at it, like the thigh in the back just kind of like morphs around a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Things are a little jittery. They're a little inconsistent. I don't know.
And you know what? One more thing. The hat, like the head hat thing. When it's like rotating, it doesn't like it maintains the mass, but like it feels like a flat object when it's like moving. If I remember correctly, Breloom has like a little bit of curvature on that like top bit, so like technically it's losing mass there.
Yeah. It's
So
not the right shape.
Depends on how you outline it. Yeah. Now that you mentioned about like the back leg there, it's like I feel it's like it's not moving back enough whenever the right foot is like forward.
Oh yeah, it is kind of like leaning forward-y.
It's kind of like that stepping on a beach. SpongeBob.
Love me some SpongeBob memes. Woo! Yeah. Yeah.
It's honestly easy to forget that the act of walking is pushing your feet off against the ground, and like it's not just lifting your foot up.
Yeah. Hell, even animals don't even do that. Like yeah, just
foot, place, foot.
Yeah.
fucking try doing that. Like fucking try walking like that. See how uncomfortable that is. Try not raising your heel enough. Holy hell. Gonna get a cramp.
All right.
All right, let's go over to our next submission. Another Pokemon, actually.
Gotta catch him.
Where'd he go? It's up here. Where are you going? Get down here. Can't be
It's weird.
Quagmire, get back here.
Okay, there we go.
Quagmire. Quagmire.
Quagmire and Cogsire.
It's Quagsire.
I thought they were different Pokemon.
I call him Tanky Boy.
Okay, they do.
So now
Okay, it is
called
Quagsire.
Quagsire.
Cool.
Yep, it is Quagsire, not Quagmire.
Acquire the sire.
I'm glad the chat, the chat agrees with me. Okay, alright, we got a jab. Albeit a not so powerful jab.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
like,
I really don't want people to yell at me about Olympia range. I really don't. This is little range. This is tiny range.
Look at that.
like aside from like from the foot, I'm imagining that they're actually like moving forward when they're attacking. Right?
Yeah.
But
I guess.
that's a roundabout way to do it. Try to extend the arm when you're punching.
Or even
Right.
that, just lean the rest of the body forward. Like,
Yeah, that'll have more impact too.
there's a lot of things you could have done here. And like, geez.
Small.
It's less of the range and just like how paper mache everything feels, you know?
Yeah.
It's just that it doesn't get out of idle.
Oh yeah.
Outside of the jab 3 turn, you were super scared on drawing new frames.
Yeah.
Like, even with the smear, with the big turn, you didn't think you'd like do something extravagant with that, you know, like a very clear change in pose, but no, you just flipped it and you just colored the back and then you just flipped it back again.
Yeah.
And the second jab is like they overextend their arm.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, like why is this the left arm tiny, but then like the right arm has like twice the range?
It's because it's got like the 3/4 view thing, and he's just going from that point instead of treating it as a 3D object that can rotate. Like, the arms just start where they start, no matter what.
Yeah, like this animation will just get so much better if like you were not scared to draw new like frames and actually like this animation just lacks keyframes. There's no keyframes here. You're just manipulating the idle frame.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to make keyframes. Like, just draw new things. Like, that's it. Like, I understand being on a time limit. I understand not being so well versed in art. But like, listen, man, you keep playing it safe, you're not gonna learn much. Like, you gotta risk it.
You gotta risk it. You gotta have to step out of your comfort zone if you want to learn quick.
Yeah. Also, seeing stretch the arm, yeah, do that. Rivals characters already do that.
Yeah.
Like,
There.
do it.
Yeah. Rivals has a ton of stretching. Like, just like pick any base cast character that is of reasonable size and isn't already freaking huge, like Sylvanos. Hell, even Sylvanos, like, he stretches a lot.
Yeah.
Like, their limbs get huge. Zetterburn is especially guilty of this. His arms have no bones.
And that's good.
Yeah, like platform fighters are very tiny scale like that. You can't just have a regular thing. You can't just have a hitbox that's just directly in front of you. It needs to reach out and touch.
You gotta extend the armo.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna notice. They're just gonna press the button and see thing come out and be like, "Ha! I hit person."
Yeah. But I'll tell you this right now: if the attack doesn't feel like that, it hurts when it lands. They're not gonna play your character again. I don't care how fun the mechanics are. If it doesn't feel like if it doesn't look like they're doing some cool shit, no one's gonna like stay on your character for long.
Yeah.
Hey, I have an idea. How about we compare it to the next animation that we're going to do?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Well, it's a 3-hit jab.
Yeah. So here's some comparison.
Yeah, and moving on to our next sprite.
Yeah. Here's some. We're gonna be reviewing this one, but also these reviews will go over to the Quagsire sprite, and it's our boy Donnie. Look at him go.
Yeah.
Now this is Impact, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
especially on that.
You could immediately notice like they're actually like reaching, and especially like they change pose when on the second jab, right? So they actually like kick forward, like they're reaching for it. You're not just
Yeah, exactly.
the arm like there.
Yeah. And like the jab one on him still doesn't reach out a whole lot. Like comparatively speaking, it's about the same range as Quagsire's.
Yeah.
But the animation on it feels a lot more impactful, so it's less just like, oh, they didn't put the arm in the right place, and more like, oh, this is a 1-inch punch. This is disabling the opponent.
Like okay, maybe I'm a little too personal about this, but just because it lacks range doesn't mean it's a bad jab. All right, you can make you can just do the thing, and if it looks like it hurts, it's gonna hurt, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be 3 characters long for it to be a proper jab. It doesn't need to. You can have it close range, and it's fine. Quit yelling at me about it. I swear to.
Anyway,
Honda Civic, I swear
it's
to God.
all about tells on this one, like tells on the motion, right? Because like what do you call it? For this one, if you notice their body, the way their body is shaped, it's perfectly fine to have that kind of punch because, well, first of all, you could absolutely tell where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it just has more impact with it, right?
yeah.
Aside from that, how would we actually critique the Donnie here? You know,
All
like,
right.
The
I
only
could gush here.
the only thing that I would say about this, and it's like a personal nitpick on my own animation style, angular smears. I typically only see angular smears for characters that wielding like sturdy weapons like swords and all the good stuff. Samurai Showdown is a good example. The Last Blade 2, 1 and 2, all that stuff. Though any character that has like a weapon that doesn't bend, or it shouldn't bend, even with impact, is I see that being reserved to like an angular move, like angular smear, and even then I kind of don't like it. I just don't like how they look. That's just me. They totally work. Like obviously, like those smears work out. I personally just don't like them. I would say that this smear is 1 frame too short because it just like disappears.
On my end, I'd probably make myself like an alternate third jab. Mostly for me, like the way I do this, it's just on the third jab instead of like having that angular smear. I'd slide them forward just for a little bit, and then slowly like, reel up for that freaking downwards punch.
Yeah.
It's like really like a skull breaker kind of punch. There.
It's like stand still. You're gonna regret it. Oh, here it comes. Smack.
Yep. That's exactly the motion I'm going for.
Yep.
If that was me. Right? Yeah.
I may as well also point out that Donnie's Jab 3 is based off for Gardoa's 6B, complete with packing the same angled smear. Okay. I mean, if Eunice did it.
It is a style that could and could not work if done right.
Yeah.
Not right. In this case, like it's relatively like a nitpick here. Like we just have alternate takes on this one.
Yeah.
Aside from yeah, I think that's all I could spot. Unless I'm like missing some context there, like checking X workshop here just to make sure they don't miss any context behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, I remember why they posted it though. We were talking about jabs and it's like, screw it, I'm gonna post this here.
Yeah. Good animation. Like, even though I don't like angular smears, I do not see a problem with this animation. Like, maybe like mess around with the timing on the beginning of the jab 3, so it'd be like a slower wind up but faster smear. But even then, like, that's just like a timing thing. It doesn't really need it. It's just something I would have done with it. But yeah, it's an example of using keyframing to your advantage. Like drawing new things helps out so freaking much, and you won't know how good you get it until you do it. Spar 2020. But
okay. Also, we can't guess why you didn't want to post this originally.
I think it's just because Artist of Seer just wanted to keep it a secret. Because he's also in my server and he talks about it a lot, but like he didn't have it up for review because he was just like just knocking these things out, you know. But yeah, let's move over to our next animation, which will be an actual like idle animation. We haven't had that in a second. And yeah, there she goes standing.
I really like this one because, like, aside from like being made really well, there's a personality to this, but it's not using the body, but the language of the entire of everything else.
Yeah, like,
as like you could absolutely feel like they're the type of like muted or just
mysterious.
Just standing there menacingly. Is this from a game or no?
I think this is an OC.
Okay. Neat.
It's
pretty good design on that, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good design. Okay, let's see.
I like the poofy hair.
The poofy hair is really nice. My only critique here would be is actually, why is there a part of the hair that's stationary? Is that actually part of the design? Like, if it's like blowing in the wind, there should be at least. I noticed like the middle chunk there isn't moving as much.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like
bottom part of the hair, right? Unless it's like that's really intentional. Like I see it moving like a little bit because like it's like subtle motion, but like the end of the hair doesn't say that it should be stationary.
Yeah, I see.
Also, yeah, their name is Mal.
Hell yeah. I don't see much else I can critique with this, honestly. Like it's an idle animation, and it's a very nice idle animation. It doesn't have to be like extravagant.
Ah, okay. I looked it up. I looked it up a little bit there. Mouth over here. First time animating something flowy like her hair. Any thoughts?
Oh.
And you already got my thoughts. You actually did it really well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Until you get to the center part where it's somehow not moving. You can see the problem here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so like the hair stems from the head. So everything else that's like dangling loose should be moving. Right?
Yeah.
So unless somehow it's glued to the back, like the upper back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that, like, hair has weight to it. I have dreadlocks. Like, I know hair has weight to it, especially when it's in like a giant clump like that, right? But it still flows. Like,
Yeah.
this feels like some strong ass wind. Like,
Yeah. It's dramatic wind.
yeah, exactly.
It's not realistic wind.
Like, let it move. You know?
Yeah. So, something else that's kind of just a nitpick, I think, is the contrast of the colors on the skirt or dress or whatever is kind of high.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I know it's supposed to be like the little folds or whatever.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a pleated dress.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't really look like that. It just kind of looks straight.
Yeah.
That, and it kind of clashes with the shirt color a bit. So, like, same value, same saturation, different hue. It just kind of like bleeds a little bit.
Yeah.
I think if you just made the upper row of pixels for the dress of that, like, the darker color, then it would work fine. It would be enough contrast to have a separation there.
Yep. Very good. Very good. I love this.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
There's seriously a sense of flow here that just delish.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Think we're done with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's simple.
Yeah.
It's a nice little idol.
Hey, OG.
Yeah.
Remember that like last mission? Didn't you have something to bring up for that one? Because I don't think you got much in for that one. We can go back for that.
Sure, yeah.
All right, let's bring let's bring
guess.
that up a little bit. Just make sure that everything's all consistent.
Yeah. Get it actually on stream.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so, the animation itself is all good and, like, you guys did a good job of, like, critiquing that. But, something that's kind of irking me is, like, the actual parts that are attacking kind of shake around a whole bunch. Like, especially hand on jab 1, like, the smear is good, and then it just kind of, like, wiggles around for a little bit for the frames after that.
Oh, God, I gotta check that now. Because like it's like running at normal frame rate.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just like a little minor nitpick like that. Like the hand is the most apparent part of that, but it's also like kind of apparent in other parts of the sprite. Like it might be a little too smooth for its own good. I don't know. Especially on a jab 3, it just kind of like loses a bit of fidelity when he like spins around like that. It's kind of hard to tell what part is where until after the move is actually finished.
Fair.
I don't know, it's a little shaky. It's got a lot of impact, but
I think the drab 3 thing would be fixed with just like a timing issue, but definitely on like the hand placement, like trying to make sure it doesn't like wobble around and stuff.
Is it because like the smear doesn't end exactly on the hand?
I don't know. Like base rival sprites also just put the smear on like the tip of the thing. Like especially on like Thornburn's dagger and all that. I don't know. There's a lack of like flow, I guess. Like there isn't enough follow through to agree with the smears, I guess. Like the smears are there, and then it's just like, oh, they're moving a different way, I guess.
Yeah. That could be it.
This is one of those submissions that was like, yeah, it's good, and then Geek was like, actually, and we look back. And like now we're like the 3 of us just like looking in a sprite with like magnifying glasses and shit, just like wait a minute, just go back.
Yeah, I'm just a stickler for movement. Like I like arcs.
Yeah.
Arc system works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's
yeah. I guess one way to like help you out in future animations or future characters is onion skinning as your friend. And I know when you like shade things, it gets kind of muddy. There's actually like a function in your onion skinning in Sprite where instead of it just being like a lower opacity layer over everything, which trust me, it gets very hard to try to pinpoint what you're looking at. There's a red and blue hue for like red for before and blue for after that frame, and that will help you visualize things better, especially when they're already shaded.
And so, you can actually drag the little indicator for like where the onion skin is actually displaying, like on the frame numbers. You can drag that around to just show the one behind it or the one ahead of it.
Or if you're just fucking crazy, you just drag it over to how many other frames that you need it. I mean, I guess there's a use for it. I haven't found it yet, but it's a function.
Like a really fast motion, and you want to keep it consistent, like gravity or something.
Yeah.
I could see like how like my way says like it lacks follow through.
Yeah.
When I think about it, it's like it's fast, but like it doesn't sell the impact.
You want to know why? Because like everything happens so consistently, like everything's on ones, which isn't a bad thing. But if you're going to be animating on ones, you should still have the impact of it being animated on like 2s or 3s or something. Like that's it. That fidelity is great, but when it's not all on a constant frame rate, there's not enough frames to hang on a frame to make you like really see what's going on. It's gone before you can really understand what's going on. Like we can see what's going on here very easily because we've all trained our eyes to be able to see this shit. Like you throw this bitch in game and not have it on full screen, God forbid, and then it's like, what happened? Like the normal eye won't be able to pick it up. We're looking at it with the artist's eye, and I think that's what's like making this. That's probably the reason why we just like moved over to the side when we were like, yeah, this is good, move it over, like, huh.
Hey, but yeah, if you guys really need to, like in Sprite, there's you could actually change the timing of every frame.
Yeah.
So, like, you could like multi-select like a few frames and then like change the timing over there, and you could easily translate that into in-game too. And there's also another one. It's like I feel that this also could be fixed in game.
Yeah.
You know why? When it's impact, hit pause.
Oh yeah, hit pause is important. And they have a hit pause frame variable too, so it's like, oh, if you wanted to only hit on the cool smear frame, but the hitbox lasts longer than that, you can just like do that. You can put it on that cool frame.
Yeah. We're not trying to patronize you. We're just like throwing the first like tip that we got. If you already know what the stuff to do it more. Like
yeah. It's also for the benefit of the other viewers.
Yeah, like
that much.
We gotta tell this information clear enough for everybody watching, looking for tips, and not just specifically you. Otherwise, you'd just be like, more frame.
Yeah. It wouldn't be super like,
like that the fucking ominous ass hum in the background, just like all three of us looking at you, just like add more frame. You're just gonna nod and do it. Like you already know what you're doing. It's very clear you know what you're doing. We just got to make sure we explain it well enough for everybody else that's watching. We got to do the teacher thing. We got to explain it to everybody, not just to one person.
Yeah, we got to bring out the white billboard and all the pins.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Explain like a crazy person every step of the way.
Yeah.
Also, on the subject I brought up earlier of the parts just kind of being like shaky or something, I guess, not really following an arc. His head kind of like dips down for a single frame before jab 3, and it's like weird.
Oh fuck! I see it. Holy shit!
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of minor little things like that add up, like the hand on jab 1 just kind of shaking around, and the head doing that, and then like the blue collar part on jab 3, it just kind of goes all over the place, and that's like one of the most standout parts of the sprite. So when you lose track of where that's going, the rest of the sprite just kind of turns into a blob of colors.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're not trying to fuck with the frame rate, and you're not trying to like mess up, not trying to like alter the reference itself, honestly, you could just like do a custom hold frame, so when it like plays out, it just keeps on going as it's going, and just like jab 1 and jab 3 is what I'm looking. Well, actually, all of them could do a little bit of this. You just copy the frame where like the hit is out, like after the smear is. You copy it. You tweak around some of the pixels a little bit, subpixelate, and then boom, there you go. You got a whole frame.
Yeah, I do that a whole lot. Like I just draw the frames and I'm like, that's too fast. I'll just copy and paste this frame and change it in pixels.
Yeah, like that's the Olympia, like the shine on Olympia's gauntlets when she like does something like forward strong. That hold is not in game. Yeah. That's actually like me playing out the whatchamacallit, the shine itself, and that's the hold. Like you can do that, and I think to fix all the shakiness and like everything's happening too fast because of the frame rate, you just need hold frames and just like all like make sure that like all those gaps are are filled out, everything's smoothed out. It's already good animation, but like it just needs like some changes here and there.
It's already a great animation. Like, what I'm pointing out is like nitpicks.
Yeah. Like.
Oh.
It is right. There's 3 of us.
Artist is here in chat. I just realized his white part of his coat disappears for 1 frame during jab 3, and that makes it harder to read. It does. It does, and it does.
Listen, they never say it be like that, but it do. All right, I think we covered literally all the bases for this. If we find something else, if we find something else, we'll fucking DM you. Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's move over to the other animation here.
For real this time.
And we got this guy.
We got a rocket jump.
Wait, is that really
It says
next?
there. Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm out of order. My bad. Hold on. These are not the droids you're looking for. There you go. There you go. I should have checked the order. My bad.
Nice.
Where's my donuts, Fire?
That's
It's in the mail.
Oh, why is it the mail?
mail donuts.
Cause I'm fucking in America and you're in the Philippines. What am I supposed to do? Mail, like fucking deliver it? No, I'm getting UPS to do it. Anyway.
Okay, you get a catapult.
Alright, I'm gonna say something a little bit about this animation. This is Jane's rocket jump animation with a in-game timing as I could manage. The little keyframe will be in hit pause for a bit, so it'll be more emphasized than it is here. It's still missing the explosion effects, which will start at the same time as where it should be the hit pause.
Bro, you're just rotating shit.
I mean,
they are.
Now we're getting to the point where Spar gets a little angry. Because I actually despise this like puppet style like animation. Like, it's fine. It gets the job done. There's ways you can mask it. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic does that fucking beautifully. It's all made in Flash, puppeteered, all that stuff. Looks great. I've seen examples of it done fucking beautifully. Man, you're just rotating shit, man.
There's this musician whose name is John Kagor is also doing that really well too.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be super critical of this animation because it's an animation technique I don't personally like. However, a lot of it just like becomes muddled to it, especially at the speed. Hold on, let me like slow this. Can I slow this down?
Twisted Logic says I actually hand drew all the shapes.
Huh. Well, ain't the first time I've been wrong. It won't be the last. Oh boy.
Aside from that, though, it's really smooth. Extremely smooth. Okay, so
Still don't like it. Just because you hand drew it doesn't mean I don't like it. Like, I'm supposed to like it now. Like, here's why. Because fucking how the pose is going is
it's just like going from one pose to another.
Yeah, like it's smooth, but like it's so stuck on one plane that makes the animation uninteresting to me.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, all right, I'm a rocket jump. Let me just go down. Like, it would have been really cool if like the fucking like the rocket launcher, like the guy is like turning his shoulders, points it to the ground, so you can see like him and the rocket launcher on the like the same angle, like more so facing towards the camera. And then he like shoots up and he turns back to the like side view. I think that'd be pretty cool. But like, it's all just like look down, go up. There's not a lot of like interesting movement going on here. And that's why I thought it was puppet animation, because it's all facing one area. It's okay to be like it's okay to turn a different direction on a platform fighter. Like, plenty of games do this. Just because you're on a 2D plane doesn't mean you don't have, that doesn't mean you're stuck looking at the like forward. You can turn your body whenever you want, and that makes more interesting poses because of that, right?
Yeah.
A spin during the rocket jump like when he's jumping up for it would be cool, but also, as you said, Smash Waffle extra. And
Yeah.
honestly, I think it's fine without it, especially since like a rocket jump. If TF2 has taught me anything, that's some dirty tech. There's nothing there's nothing fancy about it. It's just like, I want to get here, blows up ground. Like,
Yeah.
we ain't trying to style on that, but still.
Something I think is missing from this is staging. Like it doesn't. It just I can speak English. To me, it just looks like he's jumping. I know it's missing the explosion effects, but I can't imagine the missing explosion effects. It just looks like he's crouching down and jumping.
Yeah.
With the rocket launcher, I guess. Like, I think he needs another key pose between, like, the standing and then the jumping. Like, make it clear he's actually pointing the rocket at the rocket launcher at the ground, and hold that for a bit, because that's the important bit, that he's aiming the rocket at the ground and then he shoots it, instead of making it all this weird little like pinching your hand when your fingers are on the table kind of
Yeah.
motion.
Okay. Alright, so I know there is no explosion to this, right? But you know what sells the explosion also? Your own motion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I were going to do this, right, if I was going to do this, I would make them like crouch down like really low, right?
Yeah.
Then aim the rocket, do a short jump, and like do like a recoil on the rocket to imply that they actually shot down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you
Then-
could merge the little jump up and the aiming down at the ground like into the same motion, just kind of up, and just kind of like hold that for a bit.
I see in the chat, TF2 soldiers almost always jump before firing a rocket. If you're trying to recreate that look, that would actually like look really sick, right? Where like you go down, like you crouch, you jump up, but as you're like jumping up, instead of just like looking straight up, you're like getting ready to like arc the rocket launcher straight down, like right down, right? Like crouch down, jumps up a little bit, you know, have like a little bit like your legs spread out so you can see rocket right there, right?
Yeah.
At the point of impact. He's looking down at it, you know what's gonna happen, right? He's looking down at the rocket,
Yeah.
he lets go, boom, explosion, because he's like almost a fucking like inch or two off the ground, explosion, rocket jump, goes up. There you go. Like, the more interesting animations that you make, the more you can just like bullshit a story out of it. Like, how did he learn this tech? Like, what did his master tell him? Like, shit like that. Like, this is supposed to be a special move, and that's what Geek was getting at earlier. It just looks like a normal jump.
Yeah.
And that's because there's not a lot of staging going on here, right?
Yeah.
Like this could be an amazing just normal jump, right? If you just made this into like double jump or something like that, we wouldn't have guessed. Like, it's like, send it to post, like have it ready for the Michael Bay film. But like right now, like there's not enough going on that tells us that something special is happening, which is why it's a special attack. I don't know. I don't want to be the guy to say like scrap it, but I think just like changing some frames and like giving more of like an interesting visual, or rather a story of what's going on, will definitely help sell this animation.
I think the most important thing about this animation that is kind of detracting from actually being a rocket jump is that the rocket launcher is only pointing directly down after he goes into the air.
Yeah.
Like, it's implied he fired it straight down because he's going straight up, and he's not like going at an angle or whatever. But the rocket launcher doesn't do that. It's pointing at an angle until he's already in the air. What's going on there?
Like, trust me, there's a lot of things you can do with this, right?
Yeah.
Like, hell, you could scrap this entire animation and go for start from scratch. It will suck, but
yeah,
that's game dev for you. Like, any person that's making a video game is gonna have scrapped animations. There's always gonna be something scrapped that you had back, like, in the early days, that, like, it doesn't work out. I should note that the angle is going to be handled by the engine, because you can rocket jump in 4 different directions. Okay. Even then, like, you can still, like, retool this animation to accommodate that. Like, that's not something that's just like, oh, well, yeah, you can't have that anymore. Like, you can totally do it.
Yeah. Okay, it's not just the angle of the rocket launcher. It's still lacking. It's still lacking, like, an importance. It doesn't draw attention to the fact that he's like, okay, I am aiming this at the ground now. It's just like, what? Oh, okay, I guess he's in the air now.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. You could definitely cheat the angles afterwards. If you look at the newest patch of Astra, which was like 2 days ago, hint hint. Anyway, if you notice, the up special actually just only has one motion, but it looks like they're throwing on different directions.
Yeah.
So
it's fast enough and it's rotating enough to kind of bullshit all the angles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you could definitely bullshit that if you do it the first part of it right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think we're good with this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good.
It's clear
key
that
poses.
Key poses, staging. It's very clear that you've already gotten past that hurdle, and this is like an older animation. Use what you've learned up until this point, and come back to this. I will tell you right now, you will make a much better animation now than you did before. Like, stage it. Anyway, let's go over
Also,
to our
If you guys are curious, yes, I did update Astra. Please check it out. You will notice a huge amount of detail that was missing now added in.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go over to our next animation, made by Little Tree Boy, with his Nightshade. I remembered his name. Holy shit. We got ourselves a jumping animation. I will say right now, he's supposed to be constantly floating, so.
It's hard to animate a jump when you never touch the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I gotta point this out. You know that start of the hey.
Oh, you have to bring that up. Come on.
Sorry, the way it loops just reminds me too much of that.
Oh boy.
It's a little funny thing, but anyway, aside from that, like, this is just a jump, no jump squat.
It looks like just the jump. I think
because, like,
the jumps, the lack of jump squat is what's hurting this character, like this animation.
Yeah, it's like we can't tell really. Like, this looks a-okay to me, but just going up.
Yeah.
Just going up. That's the problem. It's just going up. There's no jump squat. There's no up to mid.
There's no transition from floating above the ground to now being more above the ground. Which, trust me, you could do that. Squash and stretch. And not just like just make it smaller or make it wider. Like squash as in curl up into a ball, stretch your body out to look like you're like propelling yourself off the ground, right? That's squash and stretch. Not just like the make it thinner, make it wider, whatever the bullshit. Like actually moving the body as if you're about to like crouch down and then propel yourself up. That is squash and stretch. Do that.
Yeah. It's not just squishing the image itself.
Yeah. I just want to make that clear before we say squash and stretch, and then it's like, well, okay, let me just squash. Like, no. That's the El Cheapo way of doing it. You ain't got to do that. Like, you know what? Okay, I found something. It's bothering me a lot. You see the floaty arms?
Yeah.
They're losing mass at the top.
Oh
yeah, shorter.
Oh wow. Okay. I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Me neither. And the little vine thing, I think it's a vine, on the front floaty arm thing, it drifts upwards towards the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta keep that in mind, right? I understand. If it's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be like the wings are going downward as the body is going up, you need to make the bottom part of the arm go down as well to like maintain that like shape. Also, keep the placement of the vines where they need to be. It doesn't need to like slide everywhere.
Yeah,
because it's very slidey right now.
Yeah, on the right leg, if you were the character, okay. Did you notice that the vine there is moving 2 pixels in a snap?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like fine tuning things with this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of fine tuning.
Yeah, just polish. Like a lot of these like animations where it's like, hey, it looks good, unless
eyes
glaring issue
emoji.
here. It's not like it's not like, oh well, the animation's got like dog shit now. Like that's not how it's supposed to be. Like every animator gets to this point where they make an animation and then there's a bunch of things that they need to be fixed, and they're very small things. That's fine-tuning. That's polishing. Every animator does this. Even the pros. Like the only reason why you don't see like really robust pencil test in animations is that they just understand how to do the sketching phase so well that they can messily make things and clean it up almost instantly to make sure that what they're doing is still on task, right? You don't get better at it, you just get good faster. Like that's, you don't bypass the errors, you just fix the errors faster is what I mean. Like that's just it. Everyone makes mistakes when they're making animations. It's just how fast you catch them is what you're learning. But yeah, do all that stuff.
A side tangent about them.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so jump animations in particular are something that need a lot of
You kind of dipped out there.
Don't really put that context, so it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to give critique on something that isn't finished.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of people that are like, "Hey, how's my jump squat?" I'm like, "Okay, it's a jump squat. What does it look like when they're standing? What's it look like when they're in the air?" And like here too, it kind of has that problem. It's just the starting part of a jump, I think. But it also needs the context of standing and then jump squat and then falling. It's all one action. 3 different states: jump squat, jump and then land. But it's all gonna be the same action. They're all gonna play one after another, and they have to look good like that.
Yeah.
So I can't give a complete critique to part of a jump animation. So please finish your shit. But yeah.
All right. We got anything else we want to cover for this one?
Not really, no. Not enough context for me, because aside from that, it's like, oh, I really have good advice for floating characters.
Yeah.
Because they still have some kind of gravity. Like, it's just they're a little bit more lighter and require a lot more force to move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you call this? Where like a lot of characters, like they could just like crouch down, right? No, for floating characters, they usually have to like really have to sell the motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff like you could see this a lot in New 13 from Blaze Blue. There you go.
Oh yeah, that's a good reference to go by. There you go, Tree.
Yeah.
There's that reference I couldn't freaking give you in my server. Holy shit. New 13. Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright, let's go to the next one. Alright.
Hey, now it's showing up when it actually needs to.
Yeah. So, what was that whole, like, paragraph this guy wrote down for this? Because he's asking for a specific thing for this. Let me scroll down to see what we got. Okay, long gift. This character, currently named Gift, supposed to be able to sacrifice the special moves to get buffs to other moves in the kit. Is visually compared by certain body parts having their skin ripped off. So there's 8 variations here to show all combinations of player stages. Is the idle, walk, and dash animations. I'd like feedback primarily on the general posture and approaches to shading. But it is, of course, I want all opinions. Proportion consistency isn't as important of this character since the arms and legs are extendable, but not the body or the neck.
Okay, that's actually really useful.
Yeah.
Okay,
First-
I'm going to tell you now. You got the frigging skin shading down, like flesh, like the meat. This, like the shading of that reminds me of some creepypasta games and some horror games out there.
Yeah,
Great.
it's disgusting. Love it.
Mm-hmm. All right, what are you going to say, Geek?
No, I was just gonna say it looks super gross, which is like good.
Okay.
Ugh.
Maybe a little thing. It's like if it's actually like a rip from the skin, you might want to add a little bit of jagged edge on those parts. Otherwise, it's like a clean cut.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, let's see. General posture. Like I feel like the idol isn't that powerful. Right?
Yeah.
You could make it way more creepier.
Yeah.
But I think I know why it's as simple as it is. Because there's 8 different fucking variations of it. Like, holy shit. I mean, there's a way for you to, like, bypass that, right? Like if you use an A sprite, there's a way for you to just be able to fudge your way through it so it doesn't become that much of a workload. Like, you could do all of it at one go and then just erase parts of it that you need and don't need. But
Yeah.
like, that's still 8 different variations. I would despise looking at the strip number for this. Holy hell.
I mean, you could just do. They could just do like post draw and just draw the different parts of the skin as needed, so it doesn't need to be a whole.
Yeah,
8.
but That's the thing, though. Now you're moving the strip number from being big in one area to just being small 8 different times. Like,
actually, it seems like it's only like 3 different areas, so it's not that big. But still, it would be big.
It would still.
I'm fine. For the amount of ambition going for this, just mechanic alone, I think it's fine. I think this animation is perfect. All 3 of these animations are perfect.
Yeah.
I could, if it was simplified, right? If it was just like a general thing, then I would like give out some more like the walking animation and the dash animation. I love, right? I love how those 2 animations work, but the idle is not creepy enough in my opinion. You could do a lot more with this. Like, tremor frames would fucking make this look so damn good.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, tremor frames. Ooh, I like that. Arakune right there.
Yeah, exactly. But like, with I could only recommend that if you had the frames to spare. You do not, my guy. Like, whether it's post-draw or just straight up raw sprites in a strip for one animation, this is still a lot for the game to process, and there's a lot of if you add just more frames to it, it's just gonna make your life a lot more miserable. So I'm gonna be like, no, this is good, send it to post, keep on going. I don't see a problem with this animation at all.
Though, yeah.
Context really did help, because I was about to rag on your ass.
Let's see. I could probably like go on this as like actually like, then like okay, there's actually 8 fucking variations of this, and I completely understand if you don't. Right? There is definitely other ways that could improve the idle, right? Like the posture, it's okay, but the way it moves, needs a little bit more. I feel like you could do a little bit more with the skull too, right?
Yeah.
Like when you like.
I know what you can do.
What?
Fucking post-draw smoke effect over the mouth. Or like heavy breathing.
yeah, it effects.
Yeah, just do that.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
In chat,
Okay.
I would like criticism as if it were just one variation. It deserves to be as perfect as possible. Clap. I can't clap.
All right.
Bruh, you
Oh,
about
boy.
oh, you're gonna have a lot of work
Okay.
in front of you. You're gonna tell me this shit like right now. Cause oh boy.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm
Wish
gonna
you-
go start.
Yeah,
with the,
wish you go
clock.
first. I am actually curious of what you got.
Okay, so like all right, like you could definitely improve the walk over here, like slump over like the upper chest a little bit more, make the head like not synchronized, and make sure that it moves smoothly and as comfort like so it looks like uncomfortably smooth. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to like maximum creepy factor, oh my goodness, you could make this all sorts of really unsettling. Like you could even like make the legs like whenever they take a step, like they dip down like instantly.
Yeah.
And that's what my take about it is on the walk. I mean, I'll leave you guys to the the running idle here. And it's like we all have pretty much a good understanding of what the idle could be.
Mm-hmm. Hey Geek, you want to talk about the run, or you want me to talk about the run?
The run is super cool, but I think I don't have much to say about it, so you go.
Okay. I was hoping you had more to say because I wanted to rag in on the idol.
You had this all the time.
On the run specifically, now that we're on it, it'd be way more eerie if each limb. Okay, you know how like typical animals run, right? Like this is more so like a fucking like horse gallop, right?
Yeah.
What if this ran more so like kind of like how like a reptile would run, where just like they don't move at the same time, but like it's very clear that you need 1 foot down and then like the other one is like reeling over to like this big ass swing.
Yeah, it just like crawls.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
you run.
yeah. That if you're selling the creepy side of that, a normal like a normal animal like wolf run is fine, especially from how it's clearly bipedal, like it's walking on its like fucking 2 legs, and then like when it runs at you, it goes on all 4 or some fucking feral shit. Like that's already eerie enough, but you can make it eerier, you know. And that's just like giving it different behavior on how it moves. Other than that, that's just like a thing. The idol. Oh boy, you could do some shit with the idol. So,
Oh yeah.
as I've said before, the trimmer frames would make it so much more creepy. Where you won't even stop there. If I was the one in charge of this shit, you know, if I was the one who was like, all right, make it creepy, here's what I would do, right? Have it have like this weird rock to it, where like when he leans in before he gets back up, it's like a very clear arc when he's like getting back up, and that's when he's like inhaling in, right?
Yeah.
It just like holds there for a second, lets it out, have him shake with that trimmer frame. You could do like either caked on effects with smoke coming out of his mouth, or do that as a hit effect, whichever one you would prefer. But you can really make this really unsettling with just how lack of control he has over his body, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what makes it scary, that this thing is just moving on instinct alone. It does not know what the fuck's happening. It's just like, what I see, I want it. I'm gonna get it. I don't care how I look, how I do it.
No thoughts, head empty.
Exactly. No thoughts, stomach empty.
Something I would suggest, just for like in general, but for the idol and the wall, the idol especially, put the head on a 1 frame delay behind the body.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like it's going like kind of limp and just like dragging it along with them. That's what I did for Michaelich's cap, and I think it turned out really well.
Okay, generally what I'm hearing is that the idol could be improved by be creepier, but beyond that, improvement comes from giving it more personality rather than mechanical and shoes. You're identified the vibe that I want shared. I like those ideas. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're just looking at it from like a coder's point of view, this is fine. This is what you got right now is good, right? This is more than enough visual tell to show us what this character is about and what you're supposed to do with it, right? The only way you could improve this is to just sell it more, right? That's the animator's job for that, to sell that more. Otherwise, it's fine. Other than like probably like some leg posing here or there, like it just kind of like lowers down. Maybe some more bend there, but you've already said before that it's stretchy, so it just doesn't matter. Like, again, this is fine, but you could sell it more. Like that. That's what we're getting at. You could sell it more.
Something I want to gush about is just the design of this thing. It's like, it's a perfect mesh of like detailed enough but still simple. Like it just looks like a stick figure made out of meat, which is really easy to animate, especially for something with this many variants. And it also makes it look creepier because it's not just some creature with its skin torn off. It's like a weird like flesh golem thing. I don't know what this is. This is like a Silent Hill enemy.
Yeah.
So, like, good job. Good good concept.
Yeah, this is a fucking amazing design.
I love it. I love it so much. And I'm a proponent of really creepy stuff. By the way.
I know who I hang out with.
I'm a sucker for those stuff. And Call of Rush Dream, but like I also love nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of a dream.
I think that's more common among artists than like people would think. Like, I like drawing creepy shit.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
All I'm gonna say is like my last ex-girlfriend was a fucking edgelord, and I don't mean that as like a she loves Sasuke. It's like no, fucking like body horror galore. Like if it's like something that's supposed to fucking like scare you, if it's something that should scare like a young child and or a very sheltered Christian woman, then yes, she's gonna be all over that shit. I know creepy shit.
Yeah.
You're doing good. Keep it up. Like your character's in good hands, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. All right.
Like I'm imagining like the limbs and like the just like the meat part of it just to be like a single long muscle.
Yeah.
Rather than anything within the actual structure, so it's just like meat.
Exactly.
It's so creepy. I love it. Please keep submitting to this.
Or don't. Just fucking show us more in like fucking modding discussion and tag us like, hey, Geek would like this.
Yeah. Yes, ping us with this man.
All right. Let's go over to our next animation. We got a couple of more left.
Yeah.
But
this is a long stream.
Yeah. So we got ourselves an up special from I don't know who this character is name wise, but looks like a character that Wish would like. Smiles.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Are you sure we're back?
We're back. I'm looking at it. We're in the green.
Okay, we are back.
Okay, we are back. We are back. We are back.
I don't know what happened. I really do not know what happened.
Okay. We are back. Good. Okay. Alright. Their name's Virgil.
Oh.
Really good name. Really good name. I love it. Okay. It is an up special. It functions similarly to Hero's level 2 Whoosh. Summons a small tornado beneath him as it launches him offward. I was struggling to make the start up read well, but I think it figured it out. Placeholder projectile, etc., etc. Okay. Alright. Good to know that it's a placeholder projectile and that it somehow looks really good for a placeholder projectile. Okay. Ooh. Dude, if you freeze a little bit on the startup, I really like that action right there.
It's a really good action.
Yeah.
And then like the once they push down the scepter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Magic
call this,
stick.
like, they just
Staff,
like
I
immediately
guess.
squashed, really sells the motion right there.
Yeah. And like the kick up is really satisfying, like the recoil off of that. Cause it's like sudden and it goes straight back and it just goes straight into the twirl and it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
So this is like doing a lot more than what frigging Heroes
Whoosh.
Whoosh, there you go. Like you're doing a lot more than what Whoosh does.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. Let's see. Do we have any errors though? Aside by the sudden, like I feel like there could be a single frame that could serve as a transition before that snap though. Like maybe like a little squash before like going back to going up to like a little squash frame, or going to like the twirl animation. But there,
Yeah.
and just like a small detail, like or it just sells the motion that they are coming from this move, because like aside from that, it looks like it's snappy. Way too. Or you could also add an in between, but it'll take like a long time.
Yeah.
It'll probably make it look smoother, which is maybe something that you do not want.
Yeah.
Okay, how about you guys?
I really don't have a whole lot to critique about this. This looks great.
It's good animation.
Well, yeah, I
gotta set the dynamic of the group.
I agree on this being wish bait. Small animal, large cloak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he's shooting me in the face.
Hey man.
Yeah, you also like a little bit of that cape. Maybe you could make that flare up a little bit more wider. Just a little bit.
Yeah. If anything, just to sell the silhouette better.
Hmm?
If anything, it'll help to sell the silhouette.
Yep, it's pretty much it.
Yeah.
What I got on this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's good animation. It's good animation. Going to the next one. And on
I would like to not be shot in the face anymore.
Yeah. And meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum,
it's an electric fan.
yeah. So we got this guy now. Yeah. I saw the reactions to this, and this was Mixels.
Mixels.
Do you want to know why they say it's Mixel? Well, if I'm going to be honest, you, sir, are animating at regular size. If I mean talking about regular size, every sprite of Rivals of Aether is at 200%. Like if you zoom in really closely, each block of pixel is actually a 4x4 block pixel.
2x2.
2x2, yeah.
Not a 4x4, 2x2.
Yeah. 4 pixels total.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if you put this on in game as a regular sprite, you will notice that the pixel size is somehow off.
Small.
It is small. And if you compare it to the other animations, also, if you put them at 100%, you'll notice that other people's animations are actually a lot more smaller.
Yep.
Oh,
And that's why we say mixels.
yeah.
Mixels are essentially different pixel sizes on, like, let's say you have a 200% game, right? You have a 200% zoom in game, but somehow this one sprite has a 100% zoom. How do we explain it?
It is the pixels.
Yeah, like that's what it is. Like when you put this character next to others in Rivals, especially base casts and other like workshop characters, like curated or whatever, this guy would be massive, but his pixel size would be too thin because you're drawing all this on one big sprite instead of having it be a small sprite blown up. Yeah, different pixels, size pixels, sprites. Yeah, that's what mixels are essentially.
Yeah, you're mixing together different sizes, and that's bad.
Yeah, that is rookie mistake number one. And from what I could tell, you are a rookie. You are indeed. This is your first time making pixel art, and you wanted to put your OC into the game. So, yeah.
It'll take some time to get used to things.
Yeah.
We will tell you that right now. Another thing is when people say jaggies, right? Like if you notice everyone else's animation is one pixel forward, like 1 pixel, your edges are like there's like 2 pixels right next to each other
Yeah.
on the edge.
That is also a rookie mistake, and also a lot of intermediate to advanced pixel artists does the same mistake as well, because they say it as that's their art style. It just makes it okay. Imagine the black outline as the actual edge of the sprite, right? Like that's going to show like the curvature or whatever, right? With these like clusters of black outline at these areas, it just makes it look like they're just a bunch of sharp angles everywhere.
Yeah.
If you look at it as like a 3D object, like if this character was translated into real life, the top of his head would just be like a fucking knife. Like it just, you could like cut people with that shit, just trying to cartwheel through everything. Like that's what jaggies are. It's just like unnecessary sharpness to a supposedly smooth shape. And hell, even fucking sharp stuff like swords doesn't have jaggies. Like that's the thing.
Yeah. It's just inconsistent shapes.
Yeah, like it's an inconsistent outline, inconsistent shapes, inconsistency, period. Now let's go over the actual other big thing, because those are actually really big things about this. Yeah, the actual animation. There's a lot. I'm gonna be very, very honest with you, homie. And I'm trying to do this as nice as possible. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There
I
is.
Don't think it... Go ahead, Wish.
Huh?
Go for it.
Yeah.
You're saying something.
Do it.
You're about to say something first. I was ready to pause.
Actually, I'll just forewarning this. I don't think it would be worth nitpicking a whole bunch of things about this, because it feels like there's a fundamental thing they need to learn here.
Yeah.
And that itself, I believe, is straight up animation.
Yeah.
Fundamentals of animation. There are fundamentals of animation that you need to learn before you even, like, before we could even critique this.
Yeah.
Right? There's 12 principles of animation. 12, and you need to learn about them. It'll help you with consistency, it'll help you with timing, it'll help you with everything that you'll probably need to learn.
All the tricks of the trade is literally the 12 principles of animations. You need to know those if you're going to be making animations. You literally need to know them.
And another thing is that you could also use reference. References is like what we call in the business the accelerator to learning. Because like if you use reference, it's like we're not talking about like using one single reference. Like you gotta cross-check your own work with a reference of another and see if like
Yeah.
what do you call that? See if it's like it feels the same or not.
Yeah.
And
remember the cat picture? Oh god.
Cat.
It's like the cat picture, like the realistic cat picture without references.
Yeah, the Renaissance one.
Oh yeah, that one
From last podcast. Yeah. Here's the thing about the reference thing, right? All three of us can go down the list of literally every reference we use for our characters, and trust me, we have used plenty. If it wasn't a fighting game, I used it as a fucking reference for Olympia. Why? A, because technically she's a fighting game character in my eyes, like she's supposed to reference these things, and B, I kind of need to do it. Like, it just made. It's very familiar to me. I've always used those sprites as like references for my own work, but also it just works. it just works, you know. I'm quite sure Astra has like a bunch of references. I know Malo has a bunch of references. Like
Definitely.
every skilled animator has a reference. If you run into somebody that says they don't have a reference, they're a fucking liar. They're a lying bastard. I'm telling you right now, their ego's up their ass. They need to admit it.
Like if you want me to like tell what the reference of Astra is, well, there's Cario. There's a lot from a show called shoot, I forgot what's the show called, but it's like a bunch of four magicians, and it's like a real life thing. It's not animated. It's just like four magicians trying to pass through like security.
That sounds so familiar, but I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, hold on. I know I have the friggin' link over here because I watched it. Wow, I forgot it.
For a lot of Malo's moves, I just looked up just like boxing moves, just like regular fighting moves. He's not trained. He just punches shit.
Yeah.
I just looked up how do people punch shit.
Yeah, like.
Oh, there you go. A movie called Now You See Me.
Huh.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that one.
Yeah. And other things is that you could use your own body as a reference too. Act it out.
Self-references is always great. Like, okay, I don't know how old the creator of this character is. I don't know how old he is. I'm guessing he's pretty young from the art style and just the general like novice level that I'm picking up from this. So I'm guessing he's pretty young, right? Here's a funny little tip, little activity that you could do at home for anybody struggling with walk cycles, especially ones that you've already done. Act it out. See if it actually works. I'm gonna tell you right now, this doesn't, and I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't. Right? Feet don't leave the damn ground.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a walk forward, but it looks like he's sliding backwards on soap. Like, that's what it feels like to me. Because the animation, there's no, like, clear motion to it. So even when he's moving forward, it just looks like he's moving backwards.
You want to know something else I noticed?
What was that?
The head and the foot on the same side are moving in the same direction.
Yeah?
This is why you need to try and act it out. Like, you will notice the small, tiny nuances of a walk with it. Like, how you need to lift your knee first before you put into, like, the next ground or something. It doesn't slide over the face like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. My advice for this, well, not for this sprite specifically, but something you should do. Start smaller. Like, my mantra with this is animating is hard. Animating full bodies is even harder. Like, ridiculously harder. Animating a full moveset for a character is unbelievably hard. For a humanoid character that can easily slip into the uncanny valley. Like, doing that as your first art project, whatever thing, is gonna burn you out really quick.
It's gonna make you really angry as well. Yeah. Very, very angry.
Oh yeah. So start with smaller sprites of things that aren't as complex. Like, when I started out doing pixel art like a decade ago or whatever, I just drew swords and fruit. Because I liked swords and fruit, and I drew a bunch of those. Because they're inanimate objects, they're really easy to do, and just like, once you get those down, then you can start handling a bunch of more complex things. And then you can move on to actual like humanoid bodies. and then you can animate them.
Yeah.
You know what I did when I started off? Oh, just a lot of boxes. A box. How can I make this box so much more than just a box?
You guys did things the smart way. I recolored Sonic sprites and kept on going.
Okay.
That's my start. I kept on going, and then after a point, I saw people doing the same animations I did. It's like, huh. So I just, like an idiot, rammed my head against the goddamn brick wall until something clicked. So many migraines. So much time fucking wasted because I just wanted to get... they did it smart. Like, Geek and fucking Wish did the smart thing. They started small. I immediately went for that shit. And even worse, when I thought I had it, I went straight to like King of Fighters sprites, like right afterwards. Like, they were terrible. I'm a dumbass. Like,
Hey,
I could have got to this point way faster if I just like paced myself and did things properly. But no, I'm a dumbass. Like, I only got here out of spite, man. If I was just like a normal-minded kid doing this shit, I would have quit years ago. And I would have I was just like, you know what? Let's try some other shit.
You're not gonna lie, like some of my starting line is also like frigging Mega Man X6 sprites, but like that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we've all started just editing another sprite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get your foot in the door at some point.
Yeah.
Just don't say that that's all you. Like, art is additive, and that's also goes for the knowledge of the art. Like, learn your shit, practice your shit, keep on doing the thing. Like, don't stop because it's frustrating. I'm looking at you, fucking Buttercup. Swear to God. Well,
Anyway.
speaking.
We're gonna say here that only way you go, it's up.
You only make your worst shit once.
Who did that? It was the Looney Tunes guy? Who
Probably.
said that?
Wait.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, normally we would end it here because it's a total of 10 animations. But we decided after a almost 2-hour fucking podcast, we got another one. And the reason why we wanted to, well, I chose to leave this out, not because this is a bad submission or whatever, but because I personally don't see anything wrong with it. But we're gonna do it anyway. Plant.
We got
Victoria the
Plant.
Fair. Doing a little steppy. Like the last Buttercup submission. Oh, come on. Hold on.
Stream.
Yeah. What the, oh, wait, oh. There we go. We living. Damn, OBS kicked up real fast. I got like 8,000 kilobytes a second as soon as the stream went back up. I was like, nope, roll back netcode kicking in right now. Oh boy. But yeah.
code.
Just like the last Buttercup submission, I have personally worked with Buttercup with this one, so I'm going to refrain from giving advice on this one because I'm just going to repeat myself on this, which is, I think it's fine. So, floor is yours.
Okay. You want to know my opinion? Just as every other Buttercup opinion I have, I think it's fine. Here you go.
You know, one thing I noticed about this one That it's fine.
Well, anyway, that's the podcast, everybody. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See you next week. Be sure to submit your submissions up in SE submissions, and we'll get on to the next one on the next thing. There's a lot of submissions. There's a lot.
Alright, I need to address this. Okay?
What do you...
Shock said, do not reference any of the DC animations. Oh, you wanna bet? Because I'm doing a Russian character soon.
Don't tell us not to reference. Like, okay, here's the thing with references, right? Just because you're looking at something doesn't mean you gotta copy it one-to-one. That's the thing that people get. That's like the hold on, we're gonna go straight back to this. Hold on, cover that up. Like, here's the thing about like references, right? You don't have to make it one-to-one. You really don't. You're supposed, like, the reference is to give the visual on what's happening. It's giving you the general idea on what you want. If what you want is what you're seeing, then I mean, more power to you, but that's not how it's supposed to be. Like, I know for me, with like Olympia's, like, especially new Olympia's walk cycle, that's gonna be coming out whenever it's gonna be ready. I referenced Street Fighter 3's like Ryu walk cycle, but it ain't the same, right? It's just the general idea. Just because you're using something like from NRS animations or Mortal Kombat, you could still do exaggeration things, and that's why animations are so fucking good to make sometimes. Like how animators can just make like water into wine sometimes when you see the reference. Like, just look at any like reanimated project, like the Zelda CDI one that came out a while ago. Like all that, the whole thing is just following a reference. You ain't gotta make it one-to-one. Just get the idea down and make it. Fuck.
Could you hold that thought? There was a CDI one that just got released. How did I not hear it?
There was a Zelda CDI reanimated, like, that was done, and all the reanimated ones. And I know because I worked on a reanimated one. I worked on the Sonic X reanimated. You can fucking look it up right now. I did 3 scenes. What's my opinion on Doritos? Save that for my stream, not for this one. This is Starry Eyes. Talking about references.
But yeah, also
shouldn't have drank that second monster.
Before we stop, you might hate me about the what do you call this? Puppet animation part.
Oh no. I've already been proven already proven wrong once, where she ain't got to do me like this.
We'll see about that.
Ah.
All right.
I hate how ominous that is, man. Damn. Have you animated Dorito? Just fucking animate it. Fuck. What are you asking me for?
Yeah. You might hate me with Ionia. Oops, did I say something? Alright! Let's
3D modeling using bullshit. Anyway. We'll catch you guys on the next one. For realsies this time. Fucking submit your submissions, or don't. We need to be caught up at some point. But, you know, the option's there. We'll do this same time next week. That's my birthday. I just remembered that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then a week after that, it's my birthday.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Where's your birthday, geek?
Oh.
All right, we're ending the stream for realsies this time.
All right. Do your closing line, do mine.
Yeah, well, you know, submit your submissions on the SC submissions, and we'll be sure to collect them and get all caught up on all that stuff. Until the next one.
Remember to shine your way and reach your dreams, everyone. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Peace out, everybody.